Hi and welcome back to another Morbid Sunshine, and today I wanted to carry a part 2 on the Victoria Marten case. Sad case of the 10-year-old girl who was murdered whilst her mother watched this murder in her home, and it reminds me a lot of the Madeleine Soto case. This case was of a 10-year-old girl on her birthday. I'm just looking into everything. I watched her interview with the police, and her confession was that she met Fabian on a dating app called POF and immediately hit it off. She said this isn't the first time she invited a man back to her home, and once getting to know these people and whatever they wanted, she allowed them. If they were into child molestation, to molest her daughter or hurt her. And I've looked back into the news articles, the autopsy report. On the 23rd of August, Fabian and his cousin, who was released from prison for 15 years of hard labour for murdering a 15-year-old, goes around to Michelle Marten's home. Michelle Marten's was home with her daughter alone, Victoria. According to her first thing she said was that when the police caught up with Michelle, was that Jennifer went crazy and killed her daughter. That's what she was first insinuating, right? And then as the story unfolded through the interview, she said that Fabian and Jennifer Kelly, Fabian Gonzalez and Jennifer Kelly sexually assaulted her in her bedroom, whilst the suspects, Jessica and Fabian, were there. Her mother was watching, and then 20 minutes afterwards went to bed with him, and, she died of strangulation during the Violence Act. Kelly was also abusing her, but she'd also spoke about that this was a normal thing to do, like a sort of, she got gratification from it. It makes me sick to say this, but this is what she said. I'm going to tell you a lot more now. All my notes are from court documents, and I'm going to probably sound like I'm repeating myself, and I apologise for that. I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all my comments, and I'm really valuing the space that you are giving me to speak about these cases. So VICTIM Victoria Marten was murdered whilst being in the same room as her mother. Victoria was home with a new boyfriend off POF, and his cousin, who was recently released, Michelle Marten, her mother. This case reminds me a lot of the Jennifer Soto, mother of Madeleine Soto, who was murdered by her boyfriend and his tenant, on and off boyfriend, I would say. Back to Victoria. Victoria's cause of death was strangulation during the Violence Act. Suspects Jennifer Kelly and Fabian Gonzalez. Kelly has previous charges, and I've looked up a plea deal and everything. Kelly has charges to previous and waived her right to a speedy trial over a not guilty verdict of the manslaughter after fighting with a knife with a 15-year-old girl called DR in 2003. Was then sentenced to hard labour for 15 years. Then she got released, and this was in 2016, to go and participate in the murder of a 10-year-old girl. Judge Cindy Leo sentenced Jessica Galley to 50 years and 6 suspended in 2022. Leads want to ask, was DR a victim of violence too? Did she actually abuse her? Did she do something to this victim for her not to like her and for her to then have a fight with her that day? I think it's something on them lines. You never really see a lady to go and hurt women. A woman, I use that term loosely, committing an violence against a child is a offence that you don't really have many committing. Had she not heard DR, Victoria Marten, a month before the incident, was living alone with her mother, Michelle Marten. She looks a happy child in the pictures, but behind the smiles, Victoria was in serious danger. Even before her gets together with Fabian Gonzalez, she admitted in an interview to allowing adults to abuse her son as well as her daughter, who was not there that day at home anymore. I'm not sure why that is. I guess that he was at the father's. That's guessing. She allowed men to abuse her kids for gratification, she admitted. A man assaulted her son. Even though she allowed it, she then called, someone called the authorities. She said she did in the interview, but then I've got the complaint of the grandparents saying that they did. So, yeah, when she mentions about Victoria, she also allowed a man. She disclosed to us her 10-year-old daughter after mother met Gonzalez that month off POF and straight away moved him into the property. I felt Victoria felt afraid to say anything. I can't imagine growing up with Victoria's mother. It wouldn't have been easy, as she even admitted she actually sat and watched him give Victoria meth to calm her down. In her own words, before the attack, Gonzalez invited convicted child killer to stay at Victoria's home too. Both then went into Victoria's bedroom with her mother taped up her mouth and undressed Victoria. Martens took her pants and Kelly took her top off and held her down whilst Gonzalez assaulted her too. Her mother's then statement was, at first when the police turned up, she tried to knock the door in over what the neighbours heard. Immediately Kelly threw herself out the 2-story building, but broke her leg. And in the video, you can see the police carrying her off and her screaming away. She deserves to break her fucking neck, but hey. They break in to discover in the bathroom a child in the bathtub burning. As the officers are at the scene, the mother had blood all over her face off a cut, apparently from Jennifer Kelly.